Are you ready to set foot on an archipelago where Guinness World Records don't come from skyscrapers, but from things no one would ever be proud of? In Comoros, some men have to throw a wedding as expensive as a lifetime's worth of work just to be recognized as adults. Women stand out with their pale white faces, but still lose to men when it comes to beauty rituals. Have you ever heard of the scent of love from Comoros? Or strange taboos like not being allowed to drink alcohol in public or even being watched for what you eat for breakfast? Let's start with 15 mind-blowing facts and taboos in Comoros right now. Number 15. UNESCO recognizes Comoros as the world's #1 coup-prone island nation. Do you think that to be listed in the Guinness Book of Records, a country must do something great, like build the tallest building construct, the longest bridge, or host the world's biggest festival? Not necessarily. In Comoros, the honor of appearing in Guinness comes from something both funny and sad. It's the country with the most coups in the world. Since 1975, when Comoros gained independence, the country has been caught in a bizarre political whirlpool, more than 20 coups in less than 40 years. That means on average, every 2 to 3 years, the power clock resets itself. Some presidents were overthrown just months after being sworn in, not even having time to hang their official portrait in the office. In some cases, foreign mercenaries secretly landed and toppled the government overnight. The consequences have been severe. In less than 4 decades, the Comoros Constitution was rewritten over 20 times, forcing each generation to relearn the political rules. The national flag changed 7 times, adding or removing colors to please each island. The country's name was proposed to be changed 3 times, and the lives of the people only got harder. So what caused this political merry-go-round? It likely stems from its multi-island structure. Grand Comore, the largest island, always holds power, while Anjouan and Moheli feel neglected, even declaring independence several times. To end this sad Guinness record in 2001, Comoros adopted a rotating presidency. Every 5 years, leadership shifts to one of the 3 main islands, while the other 2 send vice presidents to the cabinet. It sounds like taking turns in a board game, but for Comoros, it's the last resort to avoid coups and keep the country from falling apart. But is this system a cure, or just a way to delay another round of instability? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'll discuss this more. Number 14. Comoros openly sells citizenship. Have you ever thought a country could turn its citizenship into a product for sale abroad? That's exactly what Comoros did, one of the few countries to openly sell passports. Since 2008, the government of Comoros signed a deal worth about $200 million, almost 40% of its GDP, with the UAE and Kuwait. Under this agreement, tens of thousands of Comoros passports were issued to the Bedouin community. For them, this passport opened up visa-free travel to over 40 countries. That may sound small compared to the U.S. passports over 180 countries, but for people who've lived their whole lives without papers, it's a ticket out of legal invisibility. Unlike Malta or Cyprus, where billionaires can buy citizenship for investment, or travel, Comoros chose a government-to-government model. Still, reports show that besides the Bedouin, wealthy business people from the Middle East and Africa found loopholes to get Comoros passports as a backup ticket. The rumored price per passport ranged from $40,000 to $70,000. The real shock was the scale. The plan was to grant citizenship to about 4,000 families, but investigations later found up to 48,000 passports had been issued. Most of these people had never set foot in Comoros. The program quickly faced heavy criticism. Human rights groups called it selling out national identity. Some reports even found Iranian citizens and business elites using Comoros passports to dodge international sanctions or expand their travel. At home, many locals were outraged to see their country's honor turned into a commodity. Finally, under international pressure, the program was forced to end in 2016. Today, Comoros no longer exports citizenship, while other countries continue with more transparent investment residency programs. What do you think about this citizenship for sale program? If it still existed now, would you buy in? Share your thoughts in the comments. Number 13. Two types of marriage and the mandatory ritual for Comorian men. Can you believe that in a poor country where the average income is just about $1,200 a year, a wedding can cost up to $70,000, almost a family's entire lifetime earnings? Yet in Comoros, that's reality. Comoros has two types of marriage: petit mariage, a typical Islamic wedding, and grand mariage, a complex festival lasting up to 2 weeks. Especially popular on Grande Comore, where it's called Anda. On Anjouan and Moheli, it's called Harusi. The difference is all local men, upon reaching a certain age, are required to hold a grand mariage if they want to be considered respected, gain high social status, and participate in community decisions. The wedding usually starts with days of partying and religious rituals. Women wear vibrant traditional dresses, floral necklaces, and sparkling gold jewelry, while men don bubu robes, singing and dancing mixed with prayers. The bride must have henna painted on her hands and feet to honor her ancestors. Refusing is seen as insulting the whole family. Uniquely, the groom doesn't bring the bride to his house. As in Islamic custom, he must move into his wife's home, a rare trace of matriarchy. The 10th night is the festival's climax. The groom, in traditional attire with a curved sword at his side, is carried on a throne in a procession of 200 people, singing and scattering rice to ward off evil spirits. At the bride's house, the mother-in-law washes the groom's feet. Then the couple shares their first meal and a kiss amid cheers from dozens of witnesses. Number 12. Mayotte, Comoros' lost land. If you look at the map today, Comoros has 3 main islands: Grande Comore, Moheli, and Anjouan. But in 1975, when the country declared independence from France, the archipelago actually had 4 islands. At that historic moment, Comoros lost its most important piece, Mayotte. Ironically, France didn't need to fire a shot or sign a complex treaty. They simply kept control of Mayotte. By 2011, the island, about 145 square miles with a population of 300,000, officially became a French overseas department. This split created a deep paradox. While Comoros was rocked by over 20 coups in 4 decades, Mayotte enjoyed peace under the French flag. If the average income in Comoros is around $1,500 a year in Mayotte, it's over $10,000, almost 7 times higher. As a result, tens of thousands of Comorians risk their lives crossing the strait in rickety boats seeking a chance in the paradise next door, and many have perished at sea. To Comorians, Mayotte is a severed limb, a wound that never heals. But for Mayotte's residents, staying with France means good schools, modern hospitals, and a stable economy. Just a narrow strip of sea, apart 2 opposite destinies, reveal a paradox: chaos and poverty on one side, peace and prosperity on the other, a gap that can never be bridged. Number 11. The beauty race between men and women in Comoros. In Comoros, the beauty race between men and women plays out in a very unusual way. Contrary to popular belief that women are the center of beauty culture in this island nation, men actually spend more time and money on their appearance. According to a 2018 UNFPA survey, up to 70% of young men in the capital, Moroni, visit the barber at least once a week, compared to only about 25% of women. Barbershops in Comoros have become social clubs for men, where they not only get haircuts and shaves, but also trim their eyebrows, apply cologne, and discuss current events. During major events like grand marriage, men spend an average of $200 to $300 just on outfits and accessories, a huge amount considering the average annual income in Comoros is about $1,500. They wear hand-embroidered bubus, white headscarves, and even hire makeup artists to look their best. Meanwhile, Comorian women also have unique beauty traditions with henna on their hands and feet, colorful embroidered dresses, and gold jewelry from the groom's family. But these rituals are mostly for festivals and tied to social roles. In daily life, women spend less on beauty than men. This paradox partly reflects Comoros' society, A man's status is judged not just by wealth or education, but also by his appearance in public. Number 10. The Perfume Islands. If there's a scent that defines Comoros, it's ylang ylang. Just drive along the winding, bumpy roads of Anjouan Island, and you'll smell its sweet fragrance before you even see the delicate yellow flowers. The scent of ylang ylang is said to be a blend of jasmine and intense happiness, seductive and unforgettable. Amazingly, though Comoros is one of the world's poorest countries with a per capita GDP of just $1,600 a year, the islands are the king of ylang ylang essential oil production. Nearly 70% of the global supply comes from these tiny islands off East Africa. The kananga tree, originally from Indonesia, has taken root in Comoros for hundreds of years, becoming the country's green gold. Ylang ylang oil isn't just used in aromatherapy. It also relieves stress, kills bacteria, and is believed to boost desire. In Comoros, it's considered a natural love potion, so much so that many honeymooners seek out local spas to experience ylang ylang treatments. Even more interesting, the legendary Chanel No. 5. Perfume, a symbol of luxury for over a century, relies on Comoros ylang ylang oil. In 1920, perfumer Ernest Beau chose ylang ylang from the French colony of Comoros as a key ingredient, and ever since, these tiny island flowers have helped create the world's most famous perfume. Number 9. The secret of white faces in Comorian markets. One of the strangest, most unforgettable sights in Comoros is women with faces covered in pale yellowish-white clay. This is mzanzano, a traditional mask used by Comorian women for generations. It's made from finely ground sandalwood clay mixed with orange blossom oil or turmeric. In the traditional markets of Moroni or the village of Mitsamiuli, you'll easily spot hundreds of women with faces coated in this ghostly white mask. Some even paint it into floral or crescent moon patterns for charm, a form of artistic makeup. For young women, mzanzano is a coming-of-age ritual that both protects beauty and connects them to their roots. For older women, it's a health shield guarding against sundust and even evil spirits, according to local belief. Today, even as Comorian youth have access to modern cosmetics, mzanzano is still part of life, from festivals and weddings to daily routines. Number 8. An almost perfectly safe country. One thing that surprises most visitors to Comoros is how incredibly safe it is. Even though this is one of the world's poorest countries, crime is almost non-existent. People are content with a simple life, not caught up in materialism, so theft or street violence is very rare. One vlogger shared that he walked the small streets of Moroni at night without worry, unlike many other places in Africa. Some tourists even said they left their MacBook camera or drone right in their beachfront bungalow and nobody touched it. In a world where safety is often a top concern, Comoros is an amazing exception. But here's the paradox. The greatest danger isn't people, but nature. The ozone layer above Comoros is especially thin, so UV levels are among the highest in the world. That means you could get sunburned in just minutes without protection. The problem is sunscreen is almost impossible to find in local stores. Anyone who's been here will tell you, bring sunscreen from home, at least SPF 50+, and reapply often. Number 7. Ban on short clothing. As a Muslim country, Comoros strictly enforces modest dress codes, especially for women. Short, revealing, or tight clothing is almost completely banned in public. Women must cover their heads with a scarf, wear long sleeves and skirts, or pants that cover from shoulders to at least the knees. Even foreign tourists aren't exempt. If you're traveling with your wife, mother, sister, or girlfriend to public beaches wearing bikinis or short outfits, is seen as disrespectful. Locals expect you to cover your shoulders and limit exposed skin, especially in crowded areas or at religious festivals. While Muslim countries like Dubai or Morocco have become more relaxed with tourists, Comoros still holds on to this conservatism. Of course, at some private resorts for tourists, the rules are a bit looser. But once you step outside, you must adapt to local culture. Number 6. The reverse polygamy system. Under Islamic law, men can marry up to 4 wives if they can support them. But in Comoros, reality is the opposite. Polygamy is rare, and there's even a kind of unofficial polyandry, meaning a woman can be with several men in her life, quietly accepted by society. The reason is the grand marriage custom we discussed earlier, with costs of $20,000 to $60,000, equal to 10 to 30 years of average income in Comoros. Because of this huge expense, many men can only afford 1 wife in their lifetime. Some can't afford to marry at all. Meanwhile, Comorian women often have high social status thanks to matrilineal traditions in some areas where land or property can be passed down through the mother's line. This creates a paradox. Women can marry, divorce, and remarry more easily. So in their lives, they may have several husbands in succession. Some anthropological studies even show that on small islands, women may have relationships with multiple men at the same time. Even if not officially recognized by law, it's accepted as a social reality. So Comoros creates a rare paradox. On paper, polygamy is allowed. But in reality, you're more likely to see polyandry caused by expensive weddings and social flexibility for women. Number 5. Beaches on a volcanic archipelago. Hidden in the Mozambique Channel, about 190 miles from Mozambique and just 180 miles from Madagascar, Comoros is often mentioned for political instability and endless coups. But few know it's also a stunning volcanic archipelago with pristine beaches and landscapes untouched by commercial tourism. The heart of Comoros is Grande Comore, the largest island and home to Mount Carthala, a volcano rising 7,746 feet. Carthala is one of the world's most active volcanoes, erupting over 20 times in the past 200 years, most recently in 2006. Its slopes are covered in lush forests, while the massive 3-mile-wide crater looks like a giant scar left by nature. Lava flows from Carthala have shaped the jagged black lava coastline interspersed with pure white sand beaches, making Comoros the secret Maldives of the Indian Ocean. The most famous is Ligalawa Beach in Mitsamuli, where visitors can watch brilliant sunsets over turquoise waters. This area is a paradise for divers with coral reefs and a rich ecosystem of hundreds of tropical fish species. Beyond nature, Mitsamuli also takes visitors back in time, with ancient mosques bearing deep Arab influences, evidence of centuries of cultural blending. Number 4. Ban on selling and drinking alcohol in public. Comoros is one of the few African countries with strict alcohol bans similar to Arab nations. As a 100% Muslim country, buying or drinking alcohol in public streets or neighborhoods is illegal and offensive to the community. You won't find lively bars or supermarkets full of beer and wine like in the West. Instead, Comoros has a truly alcohol-free atmosphere. Interestingly, the law leaves a small loophole at some international hotels serving European or American guests. Alcohol can be sold, but only discreetly within the hotel, never on the streets. Most locals don't drink, and public drunkenness is seen as a collective shame. The paradox: Comoros was once a French colony where wine culture was strong. Yet after independence, the islands quickly put alcohol on the taboo list. This makes Comoros one of the rare African destinations where you could spend your whole trip without seeing a single beer bottle outside a hotel. Number 3. Witchcraft is legal in Comoros. In Comoros, a 100% Muslim country where the Quran and prayers echo daily in mosques, there's a surprising paradox. Witchcraft isn't just real, it's legal and common. What makes this unique is the blend of Sufi Islam, African traditional beliefs, and Arab customs. Comorians still believe that a talisman can protect against illness, ward off bad luck, even help with romance, or bring business success. In villages, marabouts are seen as spiritual doctors where people go when modern medicine fails. In the cities, many secretly trust in lucky charms to pass exams or win lawsuits. Uniquely unlike other Muslim countries where witchcraft is a sin, in Comoros, the law doesn't ban it. Marabouts are almost a legal profession existing alongside doctors, lawyers, and teachers. Even politicians get caught up in this. For locals, almost every major life event, from weddings, building a house, fishing trips, to elections, has the touch of a marabout. Number 2. Most Comorians live by subsistence farming or fishing. In Comoros, most people's lives revolve around the sea and small patches of farmland. About 80% of the population relies on subsistence farming and traditional fishing to survive, according to the World Bank. Imagine a country smaller than Rhode Island, where most people still grow cassava, bananas, and rice, or head out to sea in simple wooden boats each morning. Tuna, sardines, and seafood are their main sources of livelihood, not just feeding their families, but also as rare exports. The paradox: despite having fertile land and a strategic location on international shipping routes, Comoros is still among the world's poorest countries, with a per capita GDP of less than $1,600 a new iPhone's cost in the U.S. Decades of political instability have scared off foreign investors, leaving people stuck in the cycle of planting, harvesting, fishing, as their ancestors did. Number 1. Ban on eating and drinking in public during the day for 30 days. Would you dare visit a country where just taking a sip of water in public during the day could make you a lawbreaker? In Comoros, where 100% of the population is Muslim, observing Ramadan is non-negotiable. Ramadan usually lasts 29 to 30 days, starting with the Islamic lunar calendar in the 9th month of the Hijri year. This means the start and end dates shift each year, sometimes falling in the hot summer. During this time, all acts of eating, drinking, smoking, even chewing gum in public during the day are strictly forbidden for both locals and tourists. What makes Comoros different from Indonesia, Malaysia, or even Dubai is that there's no gray area. Even tourists from New York or Paris must comply, because eating or drinking in public during the day is not just illegal, it's seen as an insult to the whole community. But when the sun sets over the Indian Ocean horizon, the whole country wakes up. Drums echo through the streets. Tables are loaded with grilled fish, coconut rice, fried bananas, and within minutes, night markets are packed. Locals call this the two faces of Comoros. By day, the country is as quiet as if it's holding its breath. By night, it explodes into a festival of lights and music. Comoros, a tiny country packed with enough shocks to turn all your assumptions upside down. After exploring today's documentary, the question is, what do you see here? Share your perspective below. Agree, disagree, or tell your own experience. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and share, so you won't miss the next journey to unbelievable but real places.